Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Head On with Michael. Why aren't we talking about this? Well, I'm Michael. I am from the great state of Arizona, the state that begins with an A, ends with an A, and the only other one is America. It begins with an A, ends with an A. Now, today I'm going to be talking to you about the petrodollar, in case you haven't heard about this. So you're going to be listening to me now to listen to me later. I want you to start doing some research, but please, if you can, go ahead and give me a subscribe here. So, because I really I'm not getting on the platforms out there. I'm not a big channel here. I only have 6,000 subscribers. I'd sure appreciate if you were going to be one of those. So let's talk about the petrodollar. And first of all, you have to understand what the petrodollar is and how it actually began. So 50 years ago, 51 years ago, the United States made a deal with Saudi Arabia that they would buy their oil, they would protect them, they would fight their wars, they would build infrastructure and basically completely take care of them. They only had one thing they were supposed to do, was that on the money exchange in the world, that if you were going to purchase oil from Saudi Arabia, you had to purchase them with petrodollars, which is the American dollar. Now, here we go, 50 years later, and that is over with now. No one is talking about this, okay? So there's a deal here made for 50 years. That 50 years is now over. And that's why you see Saudi Arabia is now making exchange with each country. For example, Russia with the ruble, and India, okay, and China. All right, so now they can now exchange with their dollars, which means we no longer will be having that exchange, and that will have an incredible effect on all of us. It's going to create more inflation. This is part of paying off the debt. Now, remember, we're under a fiat currency. What's that mean? That means it's propped up by nothing. Now, you could say, well, it's propped up by the military, Michael. It's get our dollars or else. Okay, how does this affect on you? Your inflation, everything is getting ready to go up coming in this next year. And this is what you have to look at. You see, all this money that was going out into the rest of the world is now no longer. You see, we're in $31 trillion in debt. Okay, just picture that. I think that just like the country, the UK is like 3 trillion in debt. So it's a big difference. So you can imagine what inflation is going to do, which means you have to pay on the debt. And just what is 1% of what that debt is? You do the math. And where is that going to be passed on to? It's going to be passed on to us, ladies and gentlemen. This is not about conflict. This is not a channel about conflict. This is a channel about being aware of where we're at right now. Okay. So now is the time for you to begin your preparation for what's coming here in the following year. Now, you may not know about the World Economic Forum, the G7, the EU, NATO. These are things outside of our country that will be affecting us very, very soon. And so one of the things I want to really bring upon you is to really start looking at prices. All right. So, for example, every Wednesday comes out the sales for most grocery stores. Okay. You need to start looking on here and finding things that are on sale. Okay. There's still sales, ladies and gentlemen, out there. Now, you may not be a meat eater. You may be a meat eater. I don't eat much meat, but I want to talk about this here on the prices of just work in California. What's going on? $69 a pound. Okay, we're going to spend a whole thing on this, but again, right now you can still go and get your meat. You can still find deals, but they're running out. Now, I've been checking this for months as we began, because, if you're older now, you're not going to want to be getting in on bread lines. So now is your time to prep, because one day you're going to walk in and everything is going to be extremely high. Just give you an example. Eggs, for 60 eggs, used to be $6.21 at Walmart. That same box is now $21. Eggs are up to $8 a dozen now. And these are the things that you're going to have to be aware of. You say, well, Michael, I don't have any money. Well, you're going to have to figure out where your priorities are. Are you going out once a week, twice a week? If you're going out, it's costing you $50. You go to McDonald's with a couple kids, it's costing you $50 just to go to a fast food place now. We don't do any of that stuff. Okay? We stopped going out. It's time to start reading. Okay? It's time to start being aware of what is coming. And so no one is talking about these petrodollars that are going to be taken out of the economy, ladies and gentlemen. Out of the economy. And this is going to affect us, you see. And so you have to be ready, because here the motto is, you're on your own, kid. Now, yes, we have the elections tomorrow. Get out and vote. Vote. It's your only voice. Now, some people say, well, the vote doesn't count. It counts for you. It counts for you on what you stand for, ladies and gentlemen. You see, we're at a bridge where some of us are going to be seriously floundering. And the one thing we cannot do is no longer can you keep your head in the sand now. And this is why I'm risking everything. I'll be coming on more once a day here just to give you this information. But right now, you need to look into this so that you can be aware and not be in a scare. This is the most important thing of where you need to be right now. Now, Arizona right now, that you're all over the country, that there's a big election coming here, and it's nationwide. There's getting a lot of coverage with Carrie Lake and Katie Hobbs, and also the Senate between Mark Kelly and Blake Masters. These are just two of the headlines that are going on here, but right there where you're at, the state that you live in. Now, I want to thank you for listening. I got one more thing here. I want to bring up some YouTube channels that, if you haven't been watching, that can give you information that's not in the political realm, but it is in the awareness of man and woman realm that we need to know what's going on. So the one I want to tell you about today is I allegedly is he talks about, he's out of California. He's always at the beach and showing good scenery, but he's giving out a serious information that we all need to know about. And so I allegedly with Dan is a great channel. I want to bring that to your attention to let you know there's other places that give information out. Okay. But if you're not prepping right now, if you're not going in, checking out sales, okay, then you're already behind. So get in front there, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be back on later today. I thank you for listening.